All right, today we're going to unpack a really remarkable story from the Quran. And it's not about us, not about humans, but about another intelligent creation that shares our world, mostly unseen. This is the story of the jinn, told in the chapter that's actually named after them, and it all centers on this one moment where their entire reality was flipped upside down.
Just try to imagine this for a second. There's this parallel society, right? They're intelligent, they have free will, they have their own communities and beliefs, but we can't see them at all. Now picture a small group from that hidden world accidentally overhearing a message. A message so powerful, so profound, that it just shatters everything they thought they knew about God, about their own leaders, and about the very nature of truth itself.
So before we can really get into their incredible story, we've got to get on the same page. We need to understand exactly who we're talking about here. Who or what exactly are the jinn?
Okay, so in the Islamic tradition, you've got humans created from clay, from the earth. But the jinn, they're made from a totally different element, a smokeless flame of fire. And this one fundamental difference, right there, it sets the stage for their whole unique existence, living right alongside us, but totally hidden from our senses.
And this is what makes them so complex. I mean, they're not just some simple spirits. Like us, they have intellect, and, this is absolutely crucial, they have free will. That means they have to make moral choices. They can choose to believe or to disbelieve, to do good or to do evil. They're basically a whole other nation, just an unseen one, living with their own set of truths. Truths that were about to be put to the ultimate test.
And here's where we get to that pivotal moment. This is where a routine night of, well, just listening turns into a complete spiritual revolution for this one group of jinn.
It all kicks off right here. A group of jinn just happen to be nearby while the Prophet Muhammad is reciting the Quran. So they stop and they listen. And get this, they aren't being preached to directly, they're just eavesdropping really. But what they hear, wow, it is unlike anything they have ever encountered before.
Their reaction is instantaneous. It's powerful. They don't just say, "Oh, that was interesting," or "that was poetic." The word they use is amazing or wondrous. It just grabs them. And this isn't just them appreciating some beautiful language. No, this is the pure shock of recognizing a profound truth they'd never even considered.
And that's why it was so wondrous to them. It wasn't just its beauty, it was its clarity. This message they heard gave them a moral and spiritual compass. It, and I quote, guides to the right path. For beings who had been navigating a world of twisted beliefs and half-truths, this was like someone suddenly flipping a light switch on in a pitch-black room.
But when a bright light gets switched on, it doesn't just show you the way forward. It also exposes all the junk and all the lies that were hiding in the shadows. And for the jinn, this new truth created an immediate crisis.
So what were they? What were these foundational beliefs that were so suddenly and so completely shattered by what they just heard?
So the first lie to just crumble to dust was a huge one, right at the core of everything, the nature of God. The idea that God had partners, or a wife, or a son. This was a pretty common belief. But the Quran's message was one of absolute, uncompromising monotheism, that God is one, totally unique, and has no partners. For the jinn, this was mind-blowing.
Now this next realization, this one is maybe even more shocking. They realize they've been lied to, not by some outsiders, but by their own people. Their foolish ones, which probably means their leaders, their scholars, had been the ones spreading these huge falsehoods. I mean, that is a profound betrayal, right? Discovering that the very sources of authority you trusted were actually leading you down the wrong path.
And this quote just captures their old mindset perfectly. You can almost hear the naivety in it, the genuine shock. They truly believe that no one, not a human, not another jinn, would ever dare to make up such a massive lie about the Creator. So the realization that they had been so wrong and had been so trusting of these lies, it was a world-shattering moment for them.
So, okay, their entire old world of lies is in pieces. But they don't just fall into despair, no. Instead, they immediately turn around and start building a new reality, one based on the solid truth they've just discovered. Just look at how this happens. It's so clear and logical, not some blind leap of faith. First, they actually listen with open minds. Second, based on the undeniable clarity of what they hear, they believe. And third, they instantly get the consequence of that belief. This wasn't just some small change in their theology. It was a total transformation of their entire spiritual state.
And this new state they're in is one of security.
The surah explains that whoever believes in the Lord won't have to fear being treated unjustly or having their good deeds just wiped away. It's this deep sense of peace that you can only get from aligning yourself with the ultimate truth. They were no longer lost, they were found.
But wait, their story doesn't end there. True transformation rarely does, right? After finding this incredible truth, there was just no way they could keep it to themselves.
Yeah, their whole experience changed them from just being passive listeners into being active messengers. They understood that this guidance wasn't meant just for them. They now had a responsibility to go back to their own people and share what they'd learned, to warn them away from the same lies they had just managed to escape from.
So, these are the core principles they now operate on, the pillars of their new worldview. Right at the heart of it all is the absolute oneness of God, and from that, everything else flows. A new critical awareness that, hey, anyone, human or jinn, can be tricked. That real guidance is this precious gift straight from the divine. That genuine faith brings security. And finally, that when you find the truth, you have a duty to share it.
And this is how they see their world now. It's not some confusing mess of truths and lies anymore. It's now split into two very clear paths. You have those who submit to the truth, the Muslims, and then you have those who turn away from it, the unjust. By choosing to submit to God's guidance, they knew they had consciously and purposefully chosen the right path.
It's just a fascinating story of transformation, isn't it? An entire worldview completely shattered and then rebuilt in a single moment, all because a small group decided to truly listen. And it kind of leaves us with a pretty powerful question to think about. In a world that's so full of noise, what powerful truths might be hiding in plain sight if only we just take a moment to pause and really truly listen?